Let's begin with a truth you might not want to acknowledge, but it's crucial that you do. You struggle to manage your emotions. No amount of self-help books, motivational quotes, or claims of emotional intelligence changes the fact that when you are ignored, you perceive it as a personal assault. When faced with opposition, it hurts. And when things don't proceed as planned, your mind spins tales tinged with fear, ego, and lingering pains from wounds you didn't realize were still festering. Have you noticed this? Probably not. That's because most of us haven't. We've become desensitized, automatically reacting to anything that pokes at our long-standing emotional scars. But it's important to understand right away that your feelings aren't always an accurate reflection of reality. Your emotions are not straightforward responses to external events, but rather distorted reflections shaped by your inner fears, beliefs, and traumas. And here's the worst part. These aren't even entirely your own. They are inherited, learned, absorbed subconsciously from childhood. You respond with anger when overlooked because once you felt unseen. You shut down when criticized because you were once made to believe love was conditional on perfection. Can you see? You're not responding to the moment. You're replaying history, time and again. What's truly terrifying is that you might not even realize it. You think this is just who you are, but in reality, you're living out programming installed by others. This should alarm you because as long as you're unaware, you're imprisoned. Every interaction triggers an internal mechanism over which you have no control. Your mind tricks you into believing that your reactions are justified, normal, rational. But it doesn't reveal that this feeling isn't new, that you've felt this way countless times before, and that you'll continue to unless you change something. Here's the truth. The enemy isn't external. It's your automatic response, that fleeting moment between stimulus and reaction, where you have a choice but fail to see it, because you haven't trained your mind to recognize it. Until you do, your life will be a cycle of repetition, masquerading as something new. You'll repeat errors, draw similar conflicts, and endure the same anxieties, frustrations, and voids. And you'll wonder why, blaming the world's unfairness or other people's failings, rarely questioning whether the issue lies within you. It's not about self-blame, but awakening to harsh truths within. Controlling your emotions is tough because no one taught you to simply observe them. You were raised in a culture that values quick reactions and undervalues self-reflection. You were taught that to feel is to show weakness, or that emotions are the undeniable truth. They are not. Feelings don't equate to understanding. You might feel hated when in truth others are projecting their insecurities onto you. You might feel like a failure when you are just learning. You might feel insignificant when you're merely in a state of pause. But if you don't question your feelings, you remain their captive. Ever considered that? It's uncomfortable because it involves assuming a responsibility many shy away from, the duty to govern oneself. Yet here's the intriguing and challenging part that few dare to consider. What if you could rewrite your own programming? What if you could identify that crucial moment before you react poorly? What if that brief pause was your way out of chaos? Everything could start with that pause, a conscious, deliberate pause, a moment of clarity amid turmoil, a mental blink where you choose a different path. It sounds simple, not a quick fix or a magical cure, but it's real and potent. That moment of pause between impulse and action is where true freedom and self-control begin. And yes, it's neither easy nor immediate, but it is achievable, backed by neuroscience, psychological research, and the experiences of countless individuals. It's not a fleeting trend, but a disciplined practice, a lifestyle change that starts with an uncomfortable question. How long will you keep reacting without self-awareness? Each automatic response is an unconscious choice affecting your whole life, your relationships, your health, your decisions, your peace of mind. What's often overlooked is that these reactions aren't inherently yours. They were learned, and what is learned can be unlearned. You can reconstruct yourself, train your mind to avoid falling into repetitive traps. But it requires bravery, not to face others, but to confront yourself, to discern your patterns, wounds, and buried emotions beneath layers of pride, fear, and survival instincts. The key lies precisely where you least want to look. Your emotional triggers aren't the problem. The real issue is your unawareness of them, not understanding their origins, meanings, or why they overwhelm you. As long as you avoid confronting them, they will continue to subtly control your life like unseen puppeteers. You could change cities, partners, careers, yet still feel unchanged because the problem isn't external, it's within you. Now, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue justifying your reactions, or will you start scrutinizing them? Will you perpetuate the narrative of "this is just who I am"? Or will you explore who you could be without these automatic responses? True transformation isn't about positive affirmations or catchy slogans. It comes from awareness, practice, discomfort, and those moments when you choose presence over reaction, even when every fiber of your being urges you to flee. This journey isn't glamorous or swift. It's challenging but genuine. If you commit to it, what lies at the end is something rare. True emotional stability, not superficial calm or forced smiles, but a profound inner peace that no external force can disrupt without your consent. A mind not easily swayed by past shadows, an awareness so sharp that no criticism, rejection, or failure can drag you down. This can't be purchased or inherited. It must be cultivated, and you can do it. But first, you must accept that the chaos in your life isn't caused by others. It's self-generated by unexamined, unchecked emotional reactions. Until you undertake this inner work, you'll continue to cycle through the same conflicts with different faces, fleeing the same ghosts in new disguises, suffering under the illusion that the world is against you, when in fact you're just battling yourself. So, will you keep running from yourself, or will you finally turn inward? Will you remain a puppet to your emotions, or will you become their master? Time is of the essence, and each unconscious reaction distances you further from who you could be. But every conscious pause, every moment of introspection, every choice to respond rather than react, draws you closer. It builds and transforms you. The rest is mere distraction. Now that you're beginning to recognize your automatic reactions, that you're starting to suspect you might not be as free as you thought, let's delve deeper. Let's discuss something few dare to tackle: the internal narrative. That voice that speaks to you when no one else is around, commenting on your actions, blaming you, undermining you, highlighting your failures, and seldom, if ever, encouraging you with kindness. Have you ever questioned where this voice originates? It's not entirely your own. This narrative was constructed from the words of your parents, your teachers, your first disappointments, rejections, and comparisons. Those minor humiliations forgotten by others, but etched in your memory. That voice insisting you're inadequate, that showing vulnerability will lead to your undoing, that hesitating makes you look foolish. This voice has guided you, but it's a misguided guide driven by fear, not wisdom. As long as this voice directs your thoughts, your emotions remain trapped in a juvenile state. You've grown physically, but emotionally, you're stuck in the past. Every instance of shame is not about the present, but echoes a moment from decades ago that your mind can't let go of. Shame itself isn't the issue. The problem is how your internal narrative amplifies and distorts it, shaping your identity. I'm a failure. I'm incompetent. This always happens to me. Does that sound familiar? This narrative is addictive, keeping you in a cycle of suffering because part of you, the most wounded part, finds comfort in the drama, the emotional turmoil. Any semblance of peace feels threatening.